SUV owners love bragging about their cars until the repair bill shows up. Then suddenly it's real quiet in the group chat. What if I told you there are 3 sedans out there that cost you almost nothing to maintain, and they'll make your SUV look like a money pit with wheels? Stick around. Number 2, literally embarrassed a mechanic.
All right, let's kick things off with a car that's basically the automotive equivalent of that friend who never causes drama, always shows up on time, and somehow still looks good doing it. I'm talking about the Lexus ES 350. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, that's an old person's car. Yeah, maybe your grandpa drove one, but you know what your grandpa also did? He retired early because he made smart financial decisions. So maybe listen to Grandpa on this one. Here's the thing about the ES 350 that most people don't realize. This car is, at its core, a Toyota Camry that went to finishing school. I'm serious. Underneath that refined, luxury exterior lives one of the most bulletproof platforms Toyota has ever engineered. The ES shares its bones with the Camry, which means you're getting decades of proven reliability wrapped in leather seats and a whisper-quiet cabin. It's like ordering a cheeseburger and getting filet mignon by accident, except it's not an accident, it's just Lexus being ridiculously generous. Let's talk about what's under the hood, because this is where things get really interesting. The ES 350 runs a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6. No turbo, no supercharger, no, let me introduce you to my friend, the expensive repair bill. Naturally aspirated engines are the golden standard when it comes to longevity. There are fewer things that can go wrong because there are fewer things, period. No turbo seals to blow, no intercoolers to leak, no boost pressure sensors to throw a tantrum at 70,000 miles. This V6 just works. It makes around 300 horsepower depending on the year, which is more than enough to merge onto the highway without writing a prayer first. And the transmission? A smooth 8-speed automatic that shifts like butter on a hot pan. Toyota and Lexus have been perfecting automatic transmissions for decades, and the one in the ES 350 is genuinely one of the most dependable gearboxes on the road. Now let's get to the part you actually care about, the money. According to long-term ownership data, the Lexus ES 350 costs roughly less than $500 a year in maintenance on average. $500. That's less than some people spend on coffee. Meanwhile, your buddy with the German luxury sedan is out here paying $1,500 just to get his brake pads swapped in an oil change. The ES 350 uses standard Toyota parts, which are cheap and available everywhere. You don't need a specialist, you don't need a dealer, and you definitely don't need a second mortgage. Your local independent mechanic can service this car with his eyes closed, and honestly, some of them probably have because there's just not that much to fix. And speaking of not fixing things, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine bought a used ES 350 with about 80,000 miles on it. He drove it for 4 years. 4 years, and the only thing he replaced besides oil and tires was a single cabin air filter. That's it. He said he actually felt guilty taking it to the mechanic because there was nothing wrong. The mechanic looked at him like he was wasting his time. That's the kind of car this is. It makes mechanics question their career choices. But here's another thing people sleep on: the interior quality. Even on older models, the ES cabin holds up like nothing else in its class. The leather doesn't crack and peel like you see in a lot of competitors, the dashboard doesn't warp or rattle, and the infotainment system, while not the flashiest, doesn't glitch out every other Tuesday. Lexus builds interiors to last, not to impress you at the dealership and fall apart 6 months later. Now, I gotta keep it real with you because that's what we do on this channel. If you're going out to buy a used ES 350, there are a few things you need to watch for. First, check the dashboard for any sticky or melting surfaces. Some model years in the early 2010s had an issue where the dashboard coating would get gummy in hot climates. Lexus actually issued a service campaign for it, so make sure it was addressed. Second, pay attention to the front struts. They're not expensive to replace, but after about 90 to 100,000 miles, they can start to wear, and you'll notice the ride getting a little bouncy. It's a normal wear item, but you want to know about it before you buy so you can negotiate the price down. Third, and this one's important, if you're looking at a model with the Mark Levinson sound system, make sure every speaker works. Those systems sound absolutely incredible when they're functioning, but if an amp goes bad, it can be pricey to repair. Just test it during the test drive, turn the volume up, and listen for any distortion or dead spots. Other than that, honestly, you're looking at one of the safest bets in the used car market. The ES350 doesn't depreciate as fast as its German rivals, it doesn't cost a fortune to insure, and it sips regular fuel. Yes, regular, not premium. That alone saves you hundreds of dollars a year compared to cars that demand 93 octane like some kind of fuel snob. So, if you want a sedan that rides like a cloud, lasts like a tank, and costs less to maintain than a gym membership you never use, the Lexus ES350 is your answer. But don't get too comfortable yet, because the next car on this list might actually be even cheaper to own. And trust me, that one's gonna surprise you.
Alright, I told you the next one would surprise you, and I meant it, because this car right here, the Honda Accord, is the reason mechanics have trust issues. Not because it breaks down, but because it refuses to. Seriously, this car is so reliable that if it were a person, it would be that coworker who's never called in sick a single day in 20 years. You kind of respect them, but also, are they even human? Now, I know what some of you are thinking. The Honda Accord? That's the most boring pick on the planet. And to that I say, you know what's really boring? Sitting in a dealership waiting room every 3 months because your exciting car decided to throw another check engine light for fun. The Accord doesn't do that. The Accord has better things to do, like running flawlessly for 300,000 miles without asking for anything more than an oil change and a pat on the hood. Let me break down why this car is an absolute engineering masterpiece hiding in plain sight. Honda has been building the Accord since 1976. That's nearly 50 years of refining, improving, and perfecting one single nameplate. Think about that for a second. Most car companies can't keep a model alive for 2 generations without messing something up. Honda has done it for over 10 and somehow keeps making it better. That's not luck, that's obsession. Under the hood, you've got options depending on the generation, but let's focus on what makes the Accord truly special: Honda's legendary 4-cylinder engines. Whether you're looking at the older K-Series or the newer turbocharged 1.5 and 2-liter units, these engines are built with a precision that borders on paranoia. Honda engineers test these powertrains to an insane degree before they ever see the inside of a production car. The result? An engine that starts every single morning like it's the first day on the job and it's trying to impress the boss. And the transmissions? If you get the CVT, it's one of the better ones in the industry. And if you're lucky enough to find one with a manual gearbox, congratulations, you've just found the holy grail of affordable driving engagement. But here's where the Accord pulls ahead in a way that genuinely shocks people: cost of ownership. We're talking roughly $400 a year in average maintenance costs. $400! You could literally maintain this car for an entire year for the price of one brake job on a BMW 5 Series. Oil changes are cheap, filters are cheap, brake pads are cheap, and everything under this car was designed to be serviced by any mechanic anywhere on the face of the earth. You don't need proprietary software, you don't need factory-trained technicians, and you absolutely don't need to sell a kidney to afford a timing chain service, because Honda designed these engines with timing chains, not belts on the newer models, which means you skip that expensive replacement altogether. And let me tell you something that perfectly sums up the Accord's reputation. This is the car that embarrassed a mechanic. I teased it at the top, and here's the story. A viewer sent me a message about his uncle who bought a 2014 Accord with 60,000 miles on it, drove it all the way to 190,000, took it in for a full inspection because he was thinking about finally trading it in. The mechanic spent 45 minutes going over the entire car, put it on the lift, checked everything, and came back with a list of recommended repairs that was exactly 1 item long. One, a slightly worn serpentine belt. That's it. The mechanic literally said, "I don't know what you want me to do with this thing. It's healthier than most cars I see with 50,000 miles. The uncle kept the car, obviously. Now let's talk about something nobody mentions enough: the Accord's driving dynamics. This isn't just a reliable appliance, this car actually handles. Honda gave it independent suspension all around, and the steering feel, especially on the sport and touring trims, is genuinely engaging. You take a highway on-ramp in an Accord, and you think to yourself, Am I supposed to be having this much fun in a sedan that costs this little to own? The answer is yes. Honda wants you to enjoy the drive, not just survive it. But okay, real talk, because I'd never let you walk into a purchase blind. If you're shopping for a used Accord, there are some things you need to put on your radar. First, the 1.5-liter turbo engine in the 2018 and 2019 models had a well-documented oil dilution issue. Fuel would mix with the oil in cold climates, raising the oil level and potentially causing long-term damage. Honda released a software update and extended warranties for it, but if you're buying used, check the service records and make sure that update was applied. This is non-negotiable. Second, if you're looking at older models, I'm talking 2008 to 2012 range, the automatic transmissions on the V6 versions could be problematic. They weren't catastrophic, but they weren't up to Honda's usual standard either. If you're going V6 from that era, get the transmission fluid checked and ask about its service history. Third, keep an eye on the paint. I know that sounds minor, but certain Accord model years, especially in white and silver, were prone to clear coat peeling. It won't affect how the car drives, but it will affect how you feel every time you walk up to it in a parking lot. A quick visual inspection before buying saves you a headache later. Other than those specific things, the Accord is a fortress of dependability. It holds its resale value incredibly well. Insurance costs are reasonable, and it runs on regular fuel like our first pick. It's the kind of car that doesn't demand attention, but earns your respect every single day you own it. So, if the Lexus ES 350 is the luxury play with Toyota DNA, the Honda Accord is the no-nonsense warrior that proves you don't need a badge to be brilliant. But we've still got one more car left on this list, and honestly, this last one might be the most controversial pick of all. You're going to want to hear this.
Alright, I said this last pick would be controversial, and I know some of you are already typing in the comments, the Camry? Are you serious right now? And yes, I am dead serious, because the Toyota Camry isn't just a car, it's a statement. It's a declaration to the universe that says, I refuse to waste money on things that break. This is the car that cockroaches would drive after the apocalypse, not because it's ugly, but because absolutely nothing can kill it. Now let me set the stage here, because I think people have lost sight of just how dominant this car really is. The Toyota Camry has been the best-selling sedan in its class for over 20 years running. 20! That's not a streak, that's a dynasty. Other manufacturers have thrown everything they've got at this car. Better styling, more horsepower, fancier tech, and the Camry just keeps outselling all of them with the calm energy of someone who knows they don't need to prove anything. It's the quiet kid in school who never talked trash, but somehow won every single race on sports day. So why does the Camry belong on a list about maintenance costs? Because this car treats your wallet with more respect than any vehicle on the road today. We're talking average annual maintenance costs that hover around roughly $400, and in some cases even less than that, depending on how you drive. Let that sink in. You could maintain a Camry for 5 full years and still spend less than one major repair on a luxury SUV. While your neighbor is out here refinancing his life to pay for a new set of adaptive air suspension struts on his European crossover, you're just cruising past him on your way to the bank to deposit the money you saved. Let's get into the engineering, because that's where the real story lives. Toyota builds the Camry on their TNGA platform, that stands for Toyota New Global Architecture, and it's the same foundation they use across some of their most successful vehicles. This platform was designed from the ground up to be rigid, efficient, and absurdly durable. The 2.5-liter four-cylinder dynamic force engine that powers most Camrys is a masterclass in thermal efficiency. Toyota literally spent years squeezing every possible percentage of efficiency out of this engine, and the result is a powertrain that sips fuel like it's trying to make a single tank last a lifetime. We're talking real-world numbers, close to 40 miles per gallon on the highway on some trims. That's hybrid territory without the hybrid price tag. And if you do go for the hybrid, oh boy, now you're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. The Camry Hybrid combines that efficient four-cylinder with Toyota's hybrid synergy drive system, which has been refined since the original Prius launched back in 1997. That's almost 30 years of hybrid development poured into one sedan.
These hybrid systems are so well proven that taxi companies around the world run them past 400,000 miles without breaking a sweat. The battery packs are designed to last the lifetime of the vehicle, and Toyota backs them with some of the best hybrid warranties in the business. You're not just saving on maintenance, you're saving on gas every single mile you drive. But here's what I think really separates the Camry from the pack, and nobody ever talks about this: parts availability. If your Camry ever does need a repair, and eventually everything does, the parts are everywhere, and I mean everywhere. You could be in the middle of nowhere, walk into the smallest auto parts store you've ever seen, and they'll have what you need for a Camry sitting on the shelf. Try doing that with a Volvo S60 or an Alfa Romeo Giulia. You'll be waiting 2 weeks for a part to ship from across the ocean, while the Camry owner fixed his car the same afternoon for $40 and a handshake. Now let me tell you something that still makes me laugh to this day. A guy I know, true story, bought a 2007 Camry as a temporary car while he saved up for something better. He said he'd drive it for 6 months, maybe a year. That was in 2012. He still has it. It's 2026, and this man is still driving that same Camry. I asked him last year, when are you finally getting rid of it? He looked at me completely straight-faced and said, "Get rid of it? For what? It hasn't given me a reason to." And that right there, that's the Camry ownership experience in one sentence. It never gives you a reason to leave. But let's keep it honest, because that's what we always do here. If you're buying a used Camry, there are a few things you need to know. First, the 2007 to 2011 models with the 2.4-liter four-cylinder had a known issue with excessive oil consumption. Some of these engines would burn through a quart of oil every 1,000 miles or so, which is way more than acceptable. If you're shopping in that generation, do a thorough oil consumption check before you commit and dig into the maintenance records. Second, keep an eye on the water pump, particularly on the 2018 and newer models with the 2.5-liter. There have been reports of water pumps failing earlier than expected, sometimes around 60 to 80,000 miles. It's not wildly expensive to fix, but it's something you want to be aware of so it doesn't catch you off guard. Third, on older models, especially the mid-2000s, check the front lower control arm bushings. They tend to wear out and can cause a clunking noise over bumps. Again, it's not a deal breaker by any means, but if you hear that noise during a test drive, you know exactly what it is, and you've got leverage to negotiate a better price. Outside of those specific items, the Camry is genuinely one of the most problem-free vehicles ever built. It doesn't try to wow you with gimmicks, it doesn't chase trends, and it doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It just works. Day after day, year after year, mile after mile. And in a world where cars are getting more complicated, more expensive, and more fragile, there's something beautifully rebellious about choosing the one car that refuses to break. So there you have it. 3 sedans that cost practically nothing to maintain and make most SUVs look like financial liabilities. The Lexus ES 350 gives you luxury without the luxury tax. The Honda Accord gives you performance and dependability in one package, and the Toyota Camry, the undisputed king, gives you the peace of mind that no amount of money can buy. Now here's what I need from you. If this video helped you, if it saved you from making a $20,000 mistake or pointed you toward a car you didn't even know you wanted, smash that like button right now. It takes you half a second and it helps this channel more than you know. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications because we drop videos like this every single week. Real talk about real cars with zero dealership nonsense. Drop a comment below and tell me which one of these 3 you'd actually buy, or if there's a car you think should have made the list. I read every single comment, and I might just feature your pick in the next video. Until then, drive smart, spend less, and I'll see you in the next one.